I can't hold your hand. Don't be afraid, it's only a day. Try closing your eyes when you can't find whatever hurts inside. Follow the stars wherever you are. I will wake you up so you see the sun. I will show you that it's only just a dream. When you think you're done, you're giving up, I will show you that there's so much more to see. And it's only just a dream. It's only, oh you that it's only, oh you that it's only, oh you that it's the dream. Oh you that it's only, oh you that it's only, oh you that it's only. I'll show you that there's so much more to see.
Go slow, take me back to how we met the first night. You know that you had me at the first line. But you say it's okay every time I come back, this won't be the last time. So go slow, 'cause tomorrow's just a memory in our minds. I'm a traveler, you gotta let me go, but I'll be back before the afterglow. I'm a traveler, you gotta let me go. I'm a traveler, you gotta let me go, but I'll be back before the afterglow. I'm a traveler, you gotta let me go. I feel every minute moving in your body. wanna say it's gonna be alright. But we both know I'll be gone. I'm a traveler, you gotta let me go, but I'll be back before the afterglow. I'm a traveler, you gotta let me go. I'm a traveler, you gotta let me go, but I'll be back before the afterglow. I'm a traveler, you gotta let me go. I'm a traveler, you gotta let me go. I'm a traveler, you gotta let me go. I'm a traveler, you gotta let me go, but I'll be back before the afterglow. I'm a traveler, you gotta let me go. I'm a traveler, you gotta let me go, but I'll be back before the afterglow. I'm a traveler, you gotta let me go.
Baby, come to me, 'cause you know that I need ya. Bring my heart again, you know I couldn't leave ya. Take me to your hands, break my heart again, yeah, again. Oh baby, let me be your lover, let me be your eyes. You know that I'm not always sober, but I can fix that for you tonight. I will be fine for you forever, hey. Oh baby, let me be. 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 Oh baby, oh baby, let me be. Oh baby, let me be. Oh baby, let me be. Baby, come to me, 'cause you know that I need ya. Bring my heart again, you know I couldn't leave ya. Take me into your hands, break my heart again, yeah, again. Oh baby, let me be your lover, let me be your eyes. You know that I'm not always sober, but I can fix that for you tonight. I will be fine for you forever, hey. Oh baby, let me be. 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 Oh baby, let me be your lover, let me be your eyes. You know that I'm not always sober, but I can fix that for you tonight. I will be fine for you forever, yeah. Oh baby, let me be. 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 Oh baby, let me be.
If your friends haven't told you, McDonald's Spicy Chicken McNuggets are back. The ones made with spicy tempura and aged cayenne. But before you go telling friends, make sure you get them first. Order ahead on the McDonald's app.
For a limited time at participating McDonald's.
Hey, Spotify. Up to 7 days of Subble with less tug and pull.
Detour.
Click the banner to get a quote. I'll be right there. We got to redo the whole thing.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin. Like at Phil's Machine Shop. To keep carving out more revenue, he needs to
It's freezing cold and you still keep me. I just wanna ride with you all night. I just wanna fly with you so high. I just wanna ride with you all night. I just wanna fly with you so high. High in the club or hiding in your basement. Under the covers, shoot me into space like five, like four, like 3 and 2 are 1. I just wanna ride with you all night. I just wanna fly with you so high. I just wanna ride with you all night. I just wanna fly with you so high. High at the club, let's take it to your place, yeah. Under the covers, shoot me into space like 5, like 4, like me and you are 1. I just wanna ride with you all night. I just wanna fly with you so high. I just wanna ride with you all night. I just wanna fly with you so high. Oh my, there's something in the way that you move so fine. Swayze got nothing on you, won't lie. Makes me feel like angels do. So high, I just wanna ride with you. I just wanna fly with you. I just wanna ride with you. I just wanna fly with you so high. I just wanna ride with you all night. I just wanna fly with you so high. I just wanna ride with you all night. I just wanna fly with you so high. I just wanna ride with you all night. I just wanna fly with you so high. I just wanna ride with you all night. I just wanna fly with you so high.
Tell me to the place you always want to love. Tell me all your secrets, share what you got. 'Cause I wanna be the one. I wanna be a man. So tell me, baby, what you want, what you got. Baby, tell me. Oh, baby, tell me. Oh, baby, tell me. Oh, baby, tell me. Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. Oh, baby, tell me. Oh, baby, tell me. Oh, baby, tell me. Oh, baby, baby, tell me. Tell me to the place you always want to love. Tell me all your secrets, share what you got. 'Cause I wanna be the one. I wanna be a man. So tell me, baby, what
What is going on, everybody? Let's get this party started. How's everybody doing? It's Tuesday. Um, I'll be honest, I'm a little exhausted. Today was a long day. Yesterday was a long day for me too. So I'm gonna get into it. Um, let's just dive into it. Let's see what we're gonna get into and kind of give an overview of what happened the last couple of days, last couple of weeks, and kind of what I want to get into. Going forward. Just a recap of some of the trades that I'm still holding. Here, I'll start from the oldest trade. I am still holding this gold trade. This is probably the longest trade I've held right now. I'm still holding from up here. So we are, I think it's at like 40. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. We're at 41. Yeah, 41 days. So I'm still holding gold. I have no plans to not to not close it. I have every intention that price. Let me go to blue here. Every intention that we are going to take this low. And if you guys have been following, I have been saying that we're coming for the weekly. Right? We are coming for the weekly candle. All right. So for me, I am not looking for any buys until we get into that weekly. All right. Definitely look at gold. I mean, we are in a beautiful complex pullback. It is picture perfect complex pullback. Why people keep wanting to buy it, I don't know, but there's no reason to buy it yet. All right. My goal. So at the end of this is going to be a 1 to 106 when we get to my take profits. All right. So I'm, like I said, I've partialed out. I'm not holding full volume. So I didn't have any intention of holding full volume. I will be looking for, and since we're on gold, I'll kind of just go through what my personal expectations of it are. If we go on the 2 hour, this is where I'm looking for a re-entry, right? Ideally, we're just about to where the low is. Okay. Once this low here gets taken, and I guess I should just mark it up like I should. Hold on, bear with me here. So once this low right here gets taken, all right, I am most definitely going to be looking for the distribution up at the top. Okay. If you just follow kind of what's going on here, I know a lot of people are looking at this as if it's a schematic. Potentially, yeah, but just pay attention to what's going on. What are we doing? Low, low, low. Give me another low. You know what I mean? Do I want to sell from up top? Absolutely, I do. Right? We could potentially. I don't think we're there yet. All right. I think before we sell from up here in this area, we, in my opinion, need to come down below here. Okay. So I'm going to be looking from this distribution area right here for my next sell. All right. I'm not going to be setting a limit order off of it. What I'm going to be doing is my focus is on this last point of supply right in here. All right. So we're almost there. I think we're maybe like 20 pips away from breaking this low. And if that's the case, then from a leg perspective, price ultimately created this low here. We came up, made a new low. So the expectation is price would be coming into the last point of supply to make a new low. All right. So just keep that on your watch list. Gold, I haven't, other than this one trade back in beginning of January, I have not had the opportunity to get back in. Just the price action's been horrible. And if you just look at it from like this 2 hour perspective, realistically, gold has been doing the last 39 days has been just taking out anybody in the market highs, anybody in the buys, anybody in sells. It's just been wicking everybody out. And I have no intention of trading any of that. So this, for me, this distribution is pretty sound, pretty clean. I like it. We did have a second distribution that occurred. If we go down to like maybe the 15, we'll be able to see it. Yeah. So we did have another distribution that occurred right in here. It's a smaller time frame distribution, but we clearly had a trading range. We had 1, 2, 3 drives, and then finally a UTAD. The UTAD broke structure, broke out of the trading range. This was the cause of the exit of the overall hour-long or intraday um, schematic. So that's why for me this is pretty important. All right. So ultimately, if we get up into this area here, I would be looking for smaller time frame distribution with confirmations to get in, and then walk price back down. All right. Again, my targets on gold. I am not looking for any buys until we get into this weekly candle. All right. I've been saying it. I've been saying it since like the beginning of January. So you like the 4-hour point of interest? The 4-hour. Let's look at the 4-hour. You like, so you like this right here, this 4-hour? Yeah, is this the 4-hour you're looking at right here? That one? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I definitely, for me, for if you guys know me, I don't like big stop losses. So for me, I want to get into this blue box. We get into the blue box game on gold, anything from I'll stretch it a little on gold. I'll go 20 pips, 25 pips. So yeah, it is what it is. So all right, perfect, perfect. Um, Now let's walk into let's walk into NJ, man. I know Sango's on here, bro. Hey, I definitely thank you for this, bro, because we killed it on this. Um, so last week, uh, do I have a limit? No, no, no limit, no limit. I'm waiting on price action when we get there. We're a ways away. So last week we talked about NJ coming into, actually last Tuesday we talked about NJ coming into this reaccumulation area. All right, into this reaccumulation area. We were looking inside here. I know price had done an accumulation in here, and I just wasn't too satisfied with it. I wanted it to come lower. So hear my words. All right, this is probably the best advice that I can give anybody. When you find your legs, right? When you find the legs, and if this is the leg, right? If we impulsed here, we came back and we made a new high, right? This is ultimately what is maintaining bullishness. When you find the leg, put a limit order on the extreme of the leg. All right, put yourself in extreme. I probably say it every week. I know I say it every day to people I trade with, right? Can we start the Zoom slightly earlier? So here's the problem with starting it sooner. It is 7 p.m. my time, and I have 2 teenage daughters that are in volleyball, and I literally walk through my door from picking them up at 6:47. So as soon as I walk in, I jump on here. So unfortunately, I can't do it earlier. Otherwise, like I'm gonna be doing it from my MacBook in the parking lot of a volleyball tournament or volleyball practice, and that's just not going to work out for everybody. So yeah, I throw the recordings on YouTube. If you can't get it, typically I'm not taking any live trades on it. So when you wake up for London while I'm snoozing, you can definitely watch it. So yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, in a perfect world, I'd like to do it earlier, but then I affect everybody on the West Coast of the US and stuff who's still like in traffic and stuff. So, but the recordings are there. All righty. So anyway, going back to NJ, right? Definitely I would highly recommend everybody go back in and just go into exactly where we responded off of. Price did come in to the extreme, right? I talked about my stop loss being at this wick because everything else below it was mitigated. We did have this imbalance sitting right here. We had this 1 minute candle, but I liked it because it was also, where is it at? It was also the 2 minute open. And then when we come to the 3 minute, it's also the 3 minute open. So for me, X marks the spot. We had the imbalance. The rest was history. This was a pretty easy, clean setup. When it comes to psychology of taking these trades, it's very simple, right? And this is something I share with everybody. If price would have taken out this low, right, it would have it would have broken bullish order flow and bullish structure. So we wouldn't be looking for buys anymore. So I got triggered off of that accumulation right there. Um, and price ends up going for, I think it was a 1 to 97. Yeah, it was a 1 to 91 actually off my 1.5 pip stop. All right. But there's really no reason to be even closing NJ right now. I have higher targets. Okay. Um, what's the benefit of setting a limit at the extreme? Uh, so I'll tell you this, just go back test it and journal it. Maybe take a month and put demo trades on all of your extremes. And then you'll know why I put a limit order on every one of my extremes. So it's not a gamble for me. All right. Um, it's, at the end of the day, if you're following your directional bias, we're bullish on NJ, put it on the extreme. If it violates that stop loss, guess what? We're no longer bullish. We're going bearish. So, it's happened more than 3 times this month. But yeah, NCAD, GA, and NJ were all over they were all over 1 to 50s. So, yeah. Did I get into that? You get in the trade? Yeah. I'm in that trade. I'm still holding partials. And just so trade management wise, like when we broke this high right here, I closed some volume out, right? With my trading plan, we're bullish, so I didn't take a lot of volume off, but I did take some partials. Oh, this stupid thing. Now it comes into my alert. Hold on, let me delete this. So when we took that high, I took some partials. All right. And now I'm just kind of setting up to see what happens next. All right. What videos can you watch for the extremes? I talk about it every week. You can literally just sit there and watch every YouTube video I've posted for the last probably, I don't know, 3-4 months. And we talk about it every week, and we go over trades every week. What was my stop loss? Yeah. Stop loss was that bottom of that wick on the 1 minute. All right. When market is creating a schematic, is it both filling orders and testing the commitment of buy? Yeah. So it's not testing the commitment of buyers and sellers. Just think of it as that institution is testing to make sure that they have enough help. Like at the end of the day, the institution just doesn't want to get into a trade on its own. They want to lobby interest. So that's exactly what's happening in the schematic, right? They're determining whether or not there's enough interest to move the market in their intended direction, and also filling orders. So when the market does a failed accumulation or distribution, ultimately what happens is it goes into a reaccumulation or redistribution, right? And it's just because there wasn't enough interest. If you start to see price lagging or something like that, that's ultimately what it is. All right. Do you think market movers will start seeing smart money concepts as liquidity? No. Nope. Absolutely not. At the end of the day, I'll tell you right now, institutions don't even care about retail traders. So it doesn't matter. We account for less than 1% of the total volume in the market. And institutions don't care about my trades. They just want to fill their orders. So my lonely little 6, 10, 15 lots don't make diddly squat in the market for them. So yeah. Let's see. Yes, Wyckoff 2.0. I'm in the middle of it right now. I can tell you that I like it. It's a really good book. I can't give you a full assessment on it just because I haven't finished it. I will finish it this weekend, though. How many pairs do I trade? I trade everything. If it's a chart, a stock, a commodity, a metal, or currency, I'll trade it. All right. Just know that you can use Wyckoff theory for stocks. That's what it originally was made for. I'll show you, if I remember, I'll show you some stocks that I got into in this past month and two, and go off of that. Extreme, just it's the extreme mitigation that is required of the leg. All right. Sounds good. All right, so let's move on. Do you have a video on my journaling? No, I don't have a video on my journaling. I'll be honest, like if I did a video of my journaling, it would be longer. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I probably spend 40 hours a week journaling. So yeah. But anyhow, let's catch up to NJ here. So NJ, definitely really nice move. What I am personally looking at for some further continuation to the upside, I know we were looking earlier today during New York session. We were looking in here, and I'll be honest, like I just wasn't happy with it. one of the things I wanted to do, there was a schematic here on the 1 minute. I wanted confirmation that we were going to break order flow, right? And for me, what I wanted to see was this. I wanted to see us break above here. So we really haven't gotten up there. So, and I'm fine with it because I'd rather buy from a lower area. All right. I actually, and I think this is, yeah, Asian's going to take this out. So I'm not too worried about it. What I want to see though is I want to see us trade down, down into these 2 points of interest right here. All right. If we can get down into this 15-minute candle, and I personally like the 5 minute, it really doesn't matter anywhere in this area. You can see I have my alert sitting up here, but anywhere in this area right here where I got my box, I would like to see a schematic form, right? Schematic form here to take higher. If that doesn't hold, I have a limit order sitting at the 10-minute right here. Okay. This would be the extreme of the leg. And if we go to the 10-minute, you'll be able to see it right here. Yeah, here's the 10-minute. All right. So I'll have an order sitting off of that 10-minute. And if you go down into lower time frames, you'll be able to see, where's my replay? You'll be able to see that just walking it down, we have, bear with me here. Let me just go to the 1 and I'll show you the so walking it down, we do have a little bit of imbalance inside that 1. You can see right in here. Okay. So I'm going to take it off the 10. To me, the 10-minute is that last down candle that I want to play off of. It's also the extreme of the leg. All right. So if we go over to the 1 hour, you'll be able to see that price, right? Ultimately, price has created this movement here. We have broken order flow here. So price coming, actually, hold on, bear with me. There we go. Okay. I'm going to get out of replay mode to show you now. All right, perfect. So we can see that price has created a new leg, right? So we had this leg here that came down to the extreme, and now we have created another leg. All right. This was the break of structure. That's why this is important, because this is that slingshot that created the break of structure. And then this is the extreme of the leg. So let this thing come down. Like I said, I require a schematic here. I will have a limit order sitting off of that. Okay. Does an IC always have to be bullish or bearish engulfing? No, I don't care about the color. The color doesn't matter to me. It's what happens inside of that candle. Okay. Ideally, I use the colors to kind of give me the volume of the bullish and bearish movements. But at the end of the day, just look what happened. All right. What about that? Yeah, I don't care about that. Yeah. Right now, to me, that's not important. I'm not looking at it. I will look at this 10-minute if it comes down into it. If we go beyond that, this is what's maintaining bullishness. So yeah, but I want to get into this. All right. Because this is truly the slingshot of the leg. All right. And this is that last move that I want to get into. All right. Yeah. Is there any significance to what? To that down there? Yeah, I mean, it's the extreme of the leg. Yeah, if we get down there, there was an accumulation. You can look at it. There was a type 1 accumulation in there. All right. So that's NJ. I'm looking for buys, but I just wanted to come down. I got my alert set 75,900, and let me take this alert. I don't need this alert right here. Okay. If price decides to react off of here, right, and we make a new high, then I'll kind of just take it. I'll take something off of here. Like if we do something like that, make a new high, then I'll be looking in this area here. But right now, price action is telling me it wants to come lower. So I'm okay with it. And I like how we're coming lower. Really nice control. This is what I want to see. I want to see that. All right. I don't want to see us just falling. All right. So nice and easy, methodical work down. All right. Where do you get the 7/8 different types of accumulation? Google only shows 2. Yeah. Yep. Google only shows 2. But yeah, there's 8 different accumulations, 7 different distributions. You kind of just have to, you know, I'll tell you right now, just look at all the retail patterns. Those are all your distributions and accumulations. All right. when marking up structure on a time frame, how far do you go back in time? How far do you go back in time? I mean, I would say, I don't even know how to, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. You mean like, just look at the previous structure breaks. Yeah, just look at the previous structure breaks. It should be pretty simple. If you get on a weekly chart, you should be able to see your structure. All right. All right. So that's NJ. NCAD. So NCAD, whoever, like I know a bunch of guys that I'm training with, definitely caught the sell. Great job. Again, there was no reason to close out of the sell. Just keep, like I said, I'm expecting for price to come a little lower. You could see I've been waiting for price to come down into this like 9100 area for accumulation. And I'm just going to wait there. I got my box here. I'm just waiting for price to walk itself down. If you are in the sell still, the sell is currently at like a 1 to 20. Be a really good hedge if you can find the schematic, but I need a schematic. Okay. I need a schematic to print. I'm still holding positions from down here. All right. And realistically, we could come all the way back into this area here. So I'm just going to maintain it. All right. You could see the schematic, the distribution that I have here. In order for, and we are bullish, right? We are bullish on all time frames. We are in a distribution. What would invalidate this distribution? Well, if we make one more leg down like this, where I'd like to, and we accumulate, all I would need to see is a jump of the creek and a break of structure to invalidate it. So that would turn this into a reaccumulation. All right. And of course, off of that, we'd be looking for a mitigation off of the shakeout to go higher. All right. Would you take a sell leading to your bottom POI? No, I don't counter trend trade anymore. That was my New Year's resolution. I don't counter trend trade. For me, when I looked at my journal, it was a lot of equity, a lot of margin, and a lot of waste, because my winning percentage and my R to R is so much better on a pro trend move than a counter trend. So I don't counter trend trade it anymore. All right. What happened on GU, AU, and XAU today? Please analysis. They did what they were supposed to do, I guess. Remember, the market's always right. Yeah, the market's always right. Let's see. When marking up structure on timeframes, how we covered that. No worries. All right. So NCAD, I'm going to be looking in here, right? Just because of this significant reaccumulation that happened here. But the only 2 points I'm going to be looking at are in here, and then I want us to come back down lower here. All right. Those are the only 2 places I'm going to be looking for price. All right. And just keep walking this down until we get a break of structure, right? On that first break of structure, ultimately that's going to create a reaccumulation for me on NCAD. So I'm personally not in the sell. I didn't actually get into the sell. I think it was because of a margin issue. Like I was already margined out on some stuff. GA, little recap on GA. So last week we were looking at GA off of this accumulation, right? So I know a lot of people caught the original buy from here to go up. Really nice move. We were looking at a second entry off of the reaccumulation that ended up hitting my stop loss. So I took the 0.25% loss because that's what I risked. 0.25% loss I took, but I did have a limit order off of the extreme, right? So when we look at the schematic itself, we had our 3 drives. We had a break of structure and an exit of the trading range. Price should not have traded above our UTAD. Okay. When price did that, it confirmed a bullish structure. And from there, this is the extreme of the leg. So I took the small loss, ended up coming back and just putting a limit order off the extreme, because if price did break below this point right here, that this entire schematic was going to fall apart. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Say it with me, man. You put the limit orders on the extreme. All right. I don't know how many times, and I'll be honest. So I kind of told this story to some people already, but I use Excel, Microsoft Excel, as my journal. right? And if you use Excel, you know that it like auto populates things that you write often. And in my case, I wrote I should have put a limit order on the extreme of the leg, and it started auto populating that after a while. So yeah, when I noticed that Excel started realizing that I was doing that a lot, I went back and I searched it, and it happened way too often. So limit orders are put on extremes now. All right. So this was the accumulation right in here. All right. We had a really nice type 1 accumulation. You could see that this 4-minute candle, my line is at 50% of the 4-minute candle. Okay. And if you walk down to the 3-minute candle, actually the 2-minute, if you go down the 2-minute candle, you're going to see that we have imbalance here. And then surely 50% of the 4-minute candle is the 1-minute candle open. All right. So that's where my limit order was. And, the rest was history. So if you took that entry off the limit, off the extreme, it almost would have got stopped out, which, whatever, almost is whatever it is. I don't care. But it's currently sitting right now at a shoot. What were we at? We were at a 1 to 26. It's sitting at like a 1 to 20 right now. All right. So I made back the loss I took, let's see. Hold on. We left equal lows. I didn't pull the trigger, but guess what Mike says, Mark? Yep. It doesn't care about equal lows or equal highs, bro. I'm telling you, trust me. I've got a couple thousand charts that'll confer. And that's why I tell people, man, back test and journal it. Back test it, back test it, back test it. The market doesn't care about these equal lows if it's within the leg. All right. So right now, what am I looking for? You can see that we had this ridiculous attempt at a distribution, which I knew was going to fail. There's no point in distributing out of here. All right. Just look at the amount of work that's going on in this area right here. Okay. We've had accumulation, a reaccumulation. We had an ugly accumulation that turned into a reaccumulation here. And now we had this attempted distro. So a lot of orders are getting filled. I'm personally looking into this 1-hour candle right here. All right. The reaccumulation definitely confirmed for me what I wanted to see. This was the low. We did break above, right? So we have broken order flow. We are bullish on order flow now. I want price to trade into this 1 hour. All right. Price to trade into the 1 hour. I'm personally looking at the 30-minute. I'm looking at the 30-minute candle. I'm looking at 50% of the 30-minute candle. Okay. And if you go down to the 2-minute, you'll see the evidence that I'm looking at right here. So this 2-minute candle is actually where I want to look because it's sitting, here's the 50% of the 30-minute candle. It's sitting right here. So it would mitigate that 2-minute imbalance. So that's ultimately what I'm looking at. For me, like if I go to bed tonight and everything looks good, I'm going to set the limit order on it. My stop loss is going to go just below this candle right here. So we're talking a 4.8 pip stop, right? That's going to be my maximum risk. And, where am I taking this to? I'll be taking it to a new high. All right. To a new high. So that's where I'm going to first partial out on the new high. And I mean, just to a new high, we're looking at a 1 to 21. All right. Let's see. Could you see a snippet of your journal just to see what it includes? Just message me on IG and I'll kind of just take a screenshot of it and send it to you. All right. Could you possibly take us through your journal? Yeah. I'll be honest, that's going to take a while. That wasn't what is your me? Yeah. Okay. I just noticed UCAD reacted off the extreme too, 1 to 12. Yeah, UCAD did. It just didn't give me a schematic, which I wanted the schematic. Do you have a limit on the MCH1? No, I'm definitely, if you're talking about the H1 on GA, I'm not taking it off the H1 just because the stop loss is too big. All right. I will be putting a limit order off of that 30% or 50% of the 30-minute. All right. Yeah, I will be putting a limit order before I go to bed, depending on how price action goes. I don't want price to come in here during Asian. So I don't like the yellow. All right. If it's in yellow on my sessions, I'll tell you right now, like if it's in yellow, I don't trade it. All right. If it's in yellow. So I do not trade Sydney or Asian session. Nothing good comes out of it. I do miss a couple of trades, but I by far save from getting into a lot of ugly trades. All right. Let's see. All right. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. If it's yellow, it's an unhappy fellow, man. So right. All right. EU and distro. Yeah. Well, I'll go over EU. I don't think it's in distro yet. I think it's in reaccumulation, but we'll talk about it. Why doesn't a market care about equal lows or equal highs? Because it only cares about equal highs or equal lows if it's got to fill their orders. All right. So, and if they don't have orders to fill, then they don't care about it. Because at the end of the day, the market only cares about their orders. All right. So this is what I'm looking at, 50% of this 30-minute, which would fill that 2-minute imbalance. All right. That's ultimately what I'm looking at. And of course, targets, right? I do want to take it up and make a new high. All right. So I'm going to first partial out here, but ultimately I'm looking to make a new H4 high. All right. And that would be a 1 to 33. And this one would be a 1 to 36. Okay. How do you put the color only in the candles? So when you're in the sessions, just go to settings and under inputs, activate high and low view right here. This little thing right there. Right. Yeah. This to me would drive my OCD crazy, man. Like I'd be ticking. So yeah, I like it like this. Looks neater. All right. Looks cleaner. So yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. Yep, no worries, man. All right, so that's GA. You know, obviously that's what we're looking at. Okay. No questions asked for me, reaccumulation. You know, we have broken order flow. So this is going to be my first attempt. And you can see I've got this 15-minute down here. So if this does get stopped out, you know, I will be looking into this price action down here for a reentry. All right. So, but I'm bullish on GA. All right, bullish on GA. All right, so let's look at EU. All right, so EU, I'll just give you my thoughts. All right, so EU, weekly, daily, 4 hour, or sorry, weekly, daily, we're bullish, right? 4 hour, we are in a bearish pullback, right? We are in a bearish pullback because we have broken below here. All right, but just keep in mind, like I was looking for price to trade into this daily candle, and we did, you know, and we're getting a really nice reaction off of that. Off the 1 hour, I am seeing reaccumulation. All right. You got stopped out on EU. How'd you get stopped out on EU? From this morning? You should have been at break even. It broke structure. Yeah. Break even was hit for me too. Yeah. I took a break even on it. All right. So for me, this is why I am looking at reaccumulation. Okay. So we had our 3 drives and then price did what? It broke structure and exited the trading range. Okay. Confirmed a type 2 for me, right? Confirmed a type 2. Only now to come back and do what? And to break structure again. All right. So for me, this was confirmation of a reaccumulation. The only way that I would say that we would go back into distribution is this needs to get broken. So if we trade below here, then I'd be looking in here for a potential sell to come lower. All right. But until that's done, this is maintaining bullishness and we should be looking for buys. All right. Unfortunately, where it's at right now, it's in the yellow. Actually, it's not even the yellow. It'll be in the yellow in 20 minutes. I'm not looking for buys at it right now. All right. But I would be looking for buys. Break even on EU, stop loss on my reentry. What reentry did you get? What do you think about UCAD? UCAD, I'm bullish. I'd be looking for buys on UCAD. You got stopped out on the sell on EU. Yeah. So I'll be honest, like, you know how you could have saved yourself from getting stopped out on EU? Right there. Right there. Trust me. It'll definitely give you some nice Albert, you hit stop loss on EU too, bro. I don't know why, man. It should have hit break even. The order from this morning. Yeah, we'll go over it. But what we were looking at this morning, bear with me here. Oh, for the love. Hey, and I'm going to warn everybody in case, because we're having a really bad storm here in South Florida. If the stream goes down, it just goes down. All right. We'll I'll kind of I'll throw stuff into the Discord and stuff, but yeah. So our point of interest was back here off of this 1 minute. All right. So we had a 1 minute schematic into a 1 minute reaccumulation. This 1 minute candle was the point of interest, right? That's where we had the limit order on. And fast forward to where price came to, we had, this is where price came into right here. All right. Came in beautifully, beautiful entry off that 1 minute, which was right here. Right. This 1 minute right here, tagged me perfectly. And obviously we had a schematic that formed. As soon as we broke the high, right in here, this order went to break even. So I never looked for a re-entry, just because by the time we looked for the re-entry, it was already getting late in the day. So I was potentially looking in here, and you can see price, was it during Sydney session? Yeah, during Sydney session, price just came down. So it looks like it's doing something here. And I did mention way back over here that I did want to see if price would react off our 80% right here. 80% of this 1 minute candle right here. All right. So around 2083 is what I was looking at. All right. I'm not taking a trade off of it, but I'm curious to see if price will react off of it. All right. This is what's maintaining bullishness right now on EU. So I want to see if that's going to hold. If it doesn't hold, then we're going to confirm we'll confirm the bearish, order flow on it. All right. But for right now, I'm still bullish on it. And we haven't broken below it. So we'll see how this trades. Equals 60 degrees and windy. No, it's actually like we lost power earlier. So I live out west, and we get some nasty stuff. Let's see. AU limit set. All right. Sounds good, bro. Why use the 80%? So yeah. Good, man. Yeah, I'm going to set the same limit before I go to bed. So I use the 80% because for me, the market likes 50s and 80s. All right. Which broker do you recommend for TradingView? Everything but FXCM. All right. Everything but FXCM. Oh, you're in Parkland? Yeah, bro. Yeah, you know the storms. Dude, it was pounding about an hour ago. It's still out there. I mean, I could see the rain coming in. So yeah, the springs, man, we get it bad. So all right. So let's go EU. So that's EU. Like right now, I'm just waiting. I'll tell you right now, during London session, if you do see an accumulation here and we take out this high, right? If this happens here, I'd be looking for a mitigation off the accumulation that happens here to go higher. Okay. Yeah, everything but FXCM. Don't use that FXCM stuff, man. All right. That's what you're waiting for. Yeah. Good. What do you think about gold? Just rewind the video about 15, 20 minutes and you'll hear what I said about gold. I'm bearish to the weekly candle. All right. All right. So let's go to my pending orders. What I have. Well, all right. So I'll be honest, US 30 and S&P, I deleted the orders. I had an order limit here from this distribution and it just never activated. So yeah, it sucks. This would have been a nice little move, but that got deleted and so did this one. So I got to take those off. AU. So we'll talk about AU here. All right. AU, same thing. AU confirmed bullishness to me off this reaccumulation. All right. You could see the legs. We've definitely broken structure off the higher time frame. So off the 4 hour, we are bullish. All right. Daily, we're bullish. We've tapped into key extreme areas and we've gone higher. I was looking for price to trade into these two H4 areas. Price decided to want to do something else. So no big deal. What I'm currently looking at right here is from this reaccumulation, If you guys were on last week, I think it was last week's session that I said that I was putting in a limit order off of 50% of the H1 candle, right? And I got triggered off of 5.5 pip stop. So price went at one point, we were at a 1 to 15 off the 1 hour candle. I took partials off this break of structure right here, off this new high. And I'm currently looking for a reentry off of this 15-minute open right here. All right. We had a type 2 schematic. Price showed that sign of strength. 15-minute open is where I'm taking it. If you can go down to the lower time frame and you can see it. I mean, there's some really nice imbalances, but the one I really like is this 1 minute. You can see the 1 minute imbalance that's sitting there right here and right here. All right. So my stop loss is just below that type 2 down there. Just keep that in mind. And yeah, this is where I'm looking to take my entry. That limit order set. I'm pretty confident with it. All right. I like it. This is the extreme of the leg, right? So when we're looking at our legs, what do? We made this high, came down, made this high. So let price come into here, and my target is up here. All right. That's my target. All right. Or my first partials. My overall target, I'll tell you right now, I'm taking AU to this daily up here. All right. So like 7,800, 7,900, right? 7,880, 7,900 is where I'm targeting. Okay. And you can see off the daily, we potentially could get into a distribution here off the daily. Won't know for sure until it happens. We're days away from this. There's a lot of price action that could happen, but I've got it marked there. But yeah, I'm looking at the buys from there. Okay. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yep. Yeah. Off that lower time frame. Yeah. We were watching it. I know you guys caught it. Well, I don't know if you actually traded it, but I saw you guys post the charts. Yeah, absolutely. Inside of the lower time frame, right in here, in that schematic was a great entry. And it met all the bias. We were in that point of interest that we were looking at. So, yeah, perfect. So, and then the other one that I got a pending on is odd CAD. So all the odd pairs are all in reaccumulation. All right. So it's just a matter of, there we go. It's just a matter of finding the right entry. So for me, we confirmed on this break right here, because this is the leg, right? This is the leg that made this low. Then we did this, then we did this, and we literally just took that out here. All right. So for me, we're bullish. All right. Inside of that leg, you could see the reaccumulation that we did have. All right. We did have a reaccumulation here. I do have these 2 points of interest. I also have a limit order sitting off of this 1 hour candle. All right. I do have a limit order sitting off that because this is the extreme of the leg. All right. And I put limit orders on extremes. I will require a schematic here. All right. It looks like this is doing another reaccumulation here. It looks like it's in distro, but the distro makes no sense to me. So potentially maybe we get one push down like this, and then we get the break of structure, right? Mitigation and go higher. That would confirm the reaccumulation. So this may give us a potential for the buy. All right, this may get for 2 opportunities, right? One, if we get a lower time frame schematic here, and then off the confirmation of the reaccumulation. Do I take limits off the 1 hour extremes too? Yeah. I mean, if I can find something in there, yeah. Thoughts on NU? I'll be honest, AU looks a whole lot cleaner than NU. Wouldn't that be counter trend on indices? Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. One of the things I've written in my journal is don't hold the indices long. I can't buy indices because we're at all-time highs and we're not getting a pullback to do anything with. So I have a separate account that I trade my indices on. So yeah. And most of the sells I'm getting on indices are like 1 to 10, 1 to 12s. So, get in and get out. That's how I'm doing it. Did you delete the limit for Asian session? So I don't have, so on odd CAD, I have the limit because we're a ways away. On AU and GA, I will put the limits on when I go to bed tonight in a couple hours, right? Uh, Thoughts on CAJ? I am still waiting for distro. I'm waiting for the sells. Okay. Um, Anything on gold? Yeah. I'm looking for sells, man. Looking for sells. Look at the distro on the 2 hour. Okay. All right. So that's pendings. All right. Let's go. Let me go down my watch list here. So Odd Chef, it's the same thing. Odd Chef. I'm just waiting. We are in reaccumulation, right? Reaccumulation. I'm just waiting on these two right here. All right. I need a schematic here. I will take an entry from here. And even if I'll tell you what, like even this 4 hour, an entry off the 4 hour would be a 6 pip stop. So if when I go to bed tonight, I will set a limit order off Odd Chef here. Um, yeah, I mean, even just up to the highs, it's going to be a 10-1. So, which is my minimum. I need a minimum of 10-1. So when should I wait for a schematic and when should I just put a limit in? So my trading plan requires that from me, and this is just me, on a decisional slingshot area, I require a schematic. On an extreme, I put the limit in. Yeah, I put the limit in. All right. Anything on EJ? Yeah, what do you got on EJ? Throw your chart in. We'll take a look at it. What time do I usually trade? I'm a New York trader. I trade New York. So, but I do like this. I'm gonna set a pending on this before I go to bed too, just off the extreme. If we get in here, I need a schematic, but yeah, I do like this 4 hour right here. And Odd Chef's got some room to go. All right. AJ, man, freaking A. So whoever, listen, if you guys if you guys are still holding, I still have a small position still left. But if you guys are holding off that 50% of the H4 from 2 weeks ago, you're currently sitting at a 1 to 24.5. All right. Price has just never come back. I took partials on this right here when we broke this high. Okay. I took partials here and I took partials again here. All right. So I've got a small position still holding. And like I'll be honest, like AJ just doesn't want to pull back for us. So until we get a pullback, and I'm looking in these 2 points of interest right here. So this hour candle right here is one that I would put a limit order on if we do get closer. But I mean, you could see we're 150 pips away. So if we do get closer, I will entertain a limit order off that extreme of the leg. And then simply put, just keep an eye on this area in here. You can see I've got my box. That's where I'd be looking for an accumulation. All right. And this was a reaccumulation here, right? That ended up creating the new high. All right. So just keep an eye on that. And don't pay attention to my yapping dog, man. AJ, dude, don't even get me started. AJ, I know. Do you have an educational video on marking up charts? No, I don't have an educational video on marking up charts. Sorry, man. Um, let's see. I'll look at UCAD. You're holding UCAD from 26,200. Okay. Yeah. You're watching it. Yeah. My bad. Sorry, man. Yeah. I'll be honest. Like I don't really have a lot of time to do a lot of videos. I know there's stuff, there's other guys on YouTube that throw a lot of stuff on, but I really don't have a lot of time. I got way too many kids. So yeah, again, on AJ, we're 120 pips away. Definitely off this 1 hour. It reacted off the accumulation. So, I'm looking at filling this imbalance in here off the 50%. And that limit order off the 50% of the extreme would be 6.9 pips. So yeah, I would definitely, you can see I have my alert up here. Otherwise, if we were closer, I'd be talking a little more about it, but we're a ways. I'd be looking in here for an accumulation or down here. All right. So on CAJ, yeah, listen, we're in the weekly candle. This is what I've been waiting for months. I want to see some signs of weakness though, and right now we're not getting it. Nothing about CAJ right now is telling me sell, so I'm not going to sell. If we start to see maybe some signs of weakness, then okay, but right now, nothing. All right. I'm actually going to move my alert up here because I want to see if we build anything. maybe we start to build something on the hour. Maybe we get something like this. Maybe this is our trading range. Sign of weakness, maybe an up thrust, come down, maybe a UTAD, break of structure, come back up, mitigate here for a test and take it down. All right. But we're on a 1 hour chart. Think about how many 1 hour candles that's going to be. We're going to probably be into next week. All right. Yeah. 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 Absolutely. And listen, just imagine it takes potentially even a day on a 5-minute chart to get a proper confirmation for a schematic entry. Imagine what you're looking for in an hour or a 30-minute. All right. Euro GBP. So I'll be on a live FTMO by the, yeah. That trade would be like a year to make 1,000 pips. I don't think so, man. I think you might want to go take a look at KJ. And I mean, just to humor you. So the last sell-off took 28 days to go 1,000 pips. And then this one over here took 91 days to go 1,250 pips. And then this one here took 77 days to go 1,000 pips. So, I mean, I'm cool. I'll go 70 days on a 5 pip stop loss for 1,000 pips. So yeah, I'm good with that. If you notice, the sells are definitely quicker. So that's why I'm a patient man. I'll take it. Get the same. Yeah, we'll take a look at UCAD, bro. Yeah. I was actually looking at a 12-hour, but yeah. I got the same thing. We'll look at it when we get, I think, yeah, right here. We'll get to it. So on EG here. So just so everyone understands, right? I am looking at this distro, but the higher time frame distro. But we are we are bullish, right? We are extremely bullish on the weekly and on the daily. All right. Where I'm actually looking and focusing my attention, if there is going to be a buy on EG, it's going to come from here. So it's going to come from this accumulation right here, this 30-minute candle. You can go down to the 15. I would go lower, but the data is not there. All right. But you can clearly see this was a schematic. Here's your trading range. Actually, there's your trading range. Selling climax, secondary test, another secondary test, another secondary test, and B, your spring. We left in balance. We never came back to mitigate that to go higher. All right. So if there is going to be an area that EG is going to react off of, it's going to be this blue box. So here I wait. All right. I would entertain, if we don't get into this box and we come up to here off this redistro, I would entertain the sell coming down. All right. I know last week we caught some really nice sells coming down. But at this point, I just like to get the accumulation here to take up higher. And where I would really like to take this up to is this right here. This area right here. I'd like to get up into there. All right. So that's my goal. That's what I kind of want to see. This is the last point of supply off the larger time frame, and EG's just been melting. So I'm thinking about it from a retail perspective. Everyone is trying to just sell this thing. They're seeing that, equal lows, so many equal lows down here. So, what's the market going to try and do? Take everybody that got into sells here out. So let's take it up, right? Let's take it up. All right. Supply zone, right? Yeah. So this is the supply zone right here. Yeah. This is the supply zone. This is the demand zone. That accumulation over here to the left is the demand zone. All right. Can you explain the redistribution? Yeah, bro. Yeah. So what happened? Yeah, we'll go. Maybe the 1 hour might be cleaner for you guys. Yeah. So what happened here, right? We had an attempted accumulation, right? This area right here was an attempted accumulation. All right. Ugly accumulation. And then you could see there was an accumulation here. There was a distribution here, right? This was ultimately a reaccumulation in the making, right? We had 1 drive, 2 drives, a reaccumulation in the making, but we never broke up, right? We never had that break of structure to confirm the reaccumulation. Instead, what did we do? We had 1, 2, 3 drives and then sold off. So if I was going to label this area, I would say it was an accumulation into a failed accumulation, or I'm sorry, a failed reaccumulation, right? Into a distro turned redistribution off the higher time frame. All right. Does that make sense? Did I confuse everybody now? So accumulation into an attempted reaccumulation, which failed to make a new high, that came into a distribution that broke beyond the accumulation, making this a redistribution. All right. Yeah. One more time. All right. Sounds good. Here, we'll do it. All right. So price had an accumulation here, right? We had 1, 2, 3, 4 drives. We had a spring type 1 tests out, right? Price comes up, and now in here is an attempted distribution. Your buying climax, up thrust, right? I'm sorry, buying climax, secondary test, up thrust, UTAD. Okay. Price then, here's our trading range, makes a new low. We have a creek, right? Price jumps the creek and fails to break structure, because this is structure here, fails to break structure. So this attempted reaccumulation was actually a failed reaccumulation, because it never did that. And when price gets into here, we have a buying climax, secondary test, up thrust, 3 drives, right? 3 drives up. And ultimately what happens, we break structure down and we make a new low. So this is the distro here. This would be the last point of supply. All right. So that's why this entire thing, because it started as an accumulation, is a redistribution. All right. Say that's right. Yeah. There's going to be a quiz at the end of this. All right. I'm going to draw up stuff like this, and you guys have to label it. If you don't label it exactly like that, the accumulation to the failed reaccumulation to the distribution to the overall redistribution, then it's a failure, not performing to standards. But yeah. So I'm looking at this. Long story short, this 1 hour candle. Yeah. If it comes here before the accumulation, yeah. So like if we do this now, like say Asian session, we trade up, and then we come into this point of interest here. Yeah, I'd entertain that sell. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And then my target would be to get into this buy area and hedge the buy. That's going to be it. All right. Dollar gapped up with no effect on EU. Yeah. Probably. Yeah, there's probably a little divergence between DXY and that. All right. So that's EG, right? I mean, overall, like I'll tell you right now, like overall, where am I looking long-term for EG? I am looking to take it maybe up here. Let's take it down to this buy area. I want to buy it up, right, into the H4, which is 50% of the weekly candle. And then I want to target these lows, right? I want to target the bottom of the trading range. That's what I want to do. All right. Would I enter off that LPS? Yeah, I would. That's my goal. I want to, if we can get up there, that's where I want to sell from. All right. That was a lot of work by the institutions, man. Absolutely. Without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. Pay attention to how these schematics are playing out, because that's significant, the amount of work that's going into it. All right. So EJ, let's go to EJ now, right? So EJ, for me, listen, confirmed that this distro is a reaccumulation. I've been calling this a reaccumulation from way down here on the order flow, but we have broken this, and you can see the legs, right? I've got the leg circled. All right. So this is now the extreme of the leg. All right. You could see we had an accumulation here. This is the only area I'm looking for buys. Could we get a buy from here? Yes. And that's why I have my alert here. But I really want it to come down here. All right. If you notice, every leg price is coming down a significant way. I want this to come down. Right. I really don't want to play off of this little slingshot area in here. But it is what it is. Like I do have the alert, we're a ways away. We're 200. Yeah, we're about 200 pips away. So, but when it comes down in here, absolutely game on. This is a demand zone. We have an accumulation. It is the extreme. So we have an accumulation to demand zone. It is the extreme of the 1 hour bullish leg. Um, and at this point we are daily bullish, weekly bullish, H4 bullish, and no, I'm not looking for sells. I'm not going to try to sell it down. Nope, nope, nope. All right. Sell limits on the extreme. Did I see the accumulation on the 5 minute today on EJ? Yeah, but it was just way too high for me. Like I'm not buying from up there. Bear with me here. You talking about in here? This buy right here? Because for me, that didn't give me any confirmations for a buy. That's the 11th. Hold on. Where are you talking about? Up here? Yeah, I'll be honest. I wouldn't have taken this trade here. Is this where you got in here? Yeah, I wouldn't have taken this. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken it. It's too high. For me, this is too high. I don't like to buy at premiums. I like to buy low. And realistically, so it was a type, for me, it was a type 2. And if I took an entry, let's see, if I took an entry off that 1 minute, hold on, what would I be looking at? I'd be looking at a 6 pip. Yeah, so at the most it'd be a 701. Yeah, I mean, did it accumulate? Yeah. Just for me, it doesn't fit my my schematic. And I'll be honest. So this is how I keep myself from getting into bad trades. I never in a million years would have been on the 5 minute at this point of on EJ at this area, because it doesn't line up with any higher time frame point of interest, right? The only time I get on the lower time frames is when I'm getting ready to look for schematics, and I would never be looking for schematics up there. I'd be looking down here. So yeah. So let's see. It tested the distro with the distro. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So that's EJ. EN. I know a lot of guys we've been trading EN a lot. I really wanted something to happen in this accumulation here, but it decided it didn't want to do it. And it kind of just left us. So at this point on EN, I just need it to, and you can see like I was waiting for it in here and we kind of got something, but at this point on EN, I need us to make a new high, right? Make a new high. I'll set my alert up here. Make a new high, and then we'll work another entry. So if price comes up here and makes a new high, then from a leg perspective, if we look at the legs, right? So from this perspective here, we came down. This was the schematic, right? We made a high, came back into the extreme of the leg, made we'll call this the high right here. All right. And if price makes a new high, then we know that this is the extreme. So I'd be looking in here, right? I'd be looking in here. And we'll just wait. I'm going to wait for it to come back up. No sense in fighting it. But I've got the alert here, and once that alert goes off, then we'll play it. But I mean, realistically, we've got time. This is from my point of interest to the high. It's 130 pips. So yeah, I'll keep looking at it there. On GU, so here's what I'm looking at for GU, right? I've got my eyes set on this 1 hour candle right in here. I got my alert right around like 38.20. So we're about 40 pips from it. This was a valid reaccumulation. And inside of that reaccumulation, we had an accumulation. All right. So we did have this point of interest in here, right? We did have 1, 2, 3 drives. This was the mitigation. So I want to see price come into here. All right. Trade into here like this, maybe in London session, catch a buy from this area to go higher. All right. We are extremely bullish. I don't see a reason yet for us to not keep looking for buys. So, and you could see this is it. That 1 hour candle would fit into the 4 hour, so this is the point of interest. I want to keep buying it, and just keep in mind that on the 4 hour, the higher time frame, this is the leg. So price can come all the way down to here and still maintain bullishness. All right. Because ultimately, this was our leg here. We made this, we can come back down to go higher. All right. So I'm just keep that in mind. All right. You're in GU right now for the buy. Yeah, I'll be honest. Like I don't know where you got in. Did you just buy it now? Yeah. Did you just get in now? Because I'll be honest. Like I wouldn't get it now. I would wait a couple of. Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah. Good. Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Like it gave some really awesome buys down in here. I mean, that was the last buy I got was off of this order right here. It was a really nice accumulation that took up, but I ended up closing out just because I needed the margin. In EU, would you consider that extreme of the leg? The extreme of the leg. Um, I don't know. The extreme of the leg. Hold on. The extreme of the leg. Talking about way down here? Hold on. Where are we talking? Yeah, you're talking about way down here? No, where it's at now? No, I'm not considering anything right now on EU just because it's Asian session. So when we get I'm gonna laugh. Hold on. I'm gonna laugh my little heart off if this came into the 80%, and this is where it moves off from. I'm gonna laugh. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not trading. I'm like I wouldn't. Could it? All right. This is what's maintaining bullishness. So yes, the answer would be we could. Hold on. Did it react off of that? Come on. Where are you at? Okay. What was that, like a two pipettes? Two pipettes off the 80%. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, like if you were gonna ask me if I was gonna put money on the table right now to trade, uh, I would tell you, nope, I'm not gonna do it, but wait for something to form here. And I could tell you my plan is when I wake up, I'm hoping that EU has broken above this high right here, right? Has done something like that. And then I would be looking for a mitigation into whatever candle created that break to go higher. All right. That's how I'd be looking at it. All right. You had a limit there and just saw that it activated. Well, if it takes the loss, you know exactly what you're gonna put. uh yep, there you go. All right. So that was GU. All right, let's do UCAD. You're looking for a buy on NCAD? Yeah. So am I. I'm looking for buys. Only buys on NCAD. So yeah, this silly thing, decided that it wanted to come into my 12-hour and leave without an accumulation. So I was looking at this. If you were on Sunday's Zoom call, I had said that I was looking into this 12-hour. We had a daily schematic, and then we have a 4-hour schematic here. So the daily was a type 1, the 4-hour was a type 2, and this made ultimately the LPS of the two or the test of the spring, right? So that's what I wanted to see. Lower time frame gave no entry for me, nothing. My alert went off and it just didn't give me anything. So I'll tell you what I'd be waiting for now is I want to see price trade above this high right here, right? Let's break above this high right here. You can see we have equal highs. Trade above that high. It'll break the leg. So we'll break bearish order flow. And then I'd be looking at, like, if this goes up straight from here, this is the slingshot area I'd be looking at. And then obviously the extreme would be down here. Like we'd have to look, I mean, definitely there's an extreme candle in here somewhere, like a 5-10 minute candle. But that's what I'd be looking at. So if price does break this here, break a structure, I'd be looking in here. I would need the schematic, or I'd be going off the extreme down here. All right. If you would be in this trade, when will you go to break even on EU? It's Asian session, man. Like just man, I would wait for the break. I mean, I don't go to break even until I get a break of structure. So the 1 minute break of structure is when I do it. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't trade Asian, man. I'm telling you, just go make sure you journal every trade you take, the session that's in. And I guarantee you're gonna understand why I don't trade Asian session. You posted for UCAT. Let me know what you think. Where'd you post it? Um, on comments? Is that what you did? Hold on. I'm trying to see. Um, Yeah, hold on. I mean, so for UCAT, I mean, I am looking for buys, and here's why I'm looking for buys. So we are an invalid schematic, right? Where am I looking for buys to? Like realistically up here, like I want to get into this blue box. So we're talking like 250 pips is where I want to potentially look for a sell. So yeah, I'd be looking to take this higher. All right. Um, 7 a.m. on the 15-minute time frame. There should be a reentry on UCAT. The 7 a.m. on the 15. Yeah, but for me, there's no confirmation yet for a reentry. You talking about this candle right here? No, yeah, but yeah, no. I'd be going off the extreme. I'd be coming down here. I to me, I'd ask what did this candle do? What did it do? Did it break structure? Because for me, it didn't break structure. It didn't do anything. Um, yeah, for me, it didn't do anything because structure is sitting right here. This is structure, right? This is the leg high. So this candle hasn't done anything. This candle potentially, right? This candle potentially, if price breaks structure from here, this is the candle that broke structure, or this is the extreme of the leg. Yeah. Yeah, but okay. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, if you're good with it, absolutely. Um, I could tell you, I'm personally looking lower. I'm looking at the extreme. Um, you're already in, but looking ahead. Yeah, okay. Awesome, awesome. Um, let's see. So that's UCAT, right? That's what I'm looking at UCAT. And then this stupid thing, UJ, man. This like we just can't catch a break. Uh like every time I want to buy UJ, it just doesn't want to come back down. So I was looking in here. Um, so just to give you a recap on UJ, like I'm bullish on it. We broke the leg, right? This was the key structure break that I wanted to see. Right? None of this is structure. This is structure right here, and we broke it. We broke it. So um, from a leg perspective, you know, could we still trade down into this area here? Yeah, we could. Um, absolutely, we could. It wouldn't violate structure to come down there. Um, I would be. I'm actually looking right now. Oh no, I'm actually looking right now. If we can, so just looking at it from here was the high, right? This was the high. Well, what created the high? This right here, right? This is that slingshot. So this is going to be point of interest number one. And here is point of interest number two, right? Because this is our new leg on the intraday. Can we go lower? Yeah, we can go lower. Absolutely. But I'd be looking for, definitely for some confirmations once we get, and that's why my alert is sitting right here. Because if we get into this area here, I would be entertaining a buy, and it's off of this in this 1 hour area. But like I said, I would require a schematic here. All right. And this was price just reaccumulating. We had 1, 2, 3 drives. We had a creek, right? And we take off from there. Um, oh, off here? Yeah, yeah. Don't worry about it. Like, if I mean, those of you guys that we were talking in the chat, like you guys remember that's the first thing I said is I have no idea where this is accumulating from. So I didn't get into an entry. There was no, me personally, I didn't get into an entry off of this. It just made no sense why we were accumulating here. Um, and then we even came into a second accumulation, right? The LPS entry, um, ended up being in a type two, so it is what it is, UJ, you know, it is UJ. So I do have my alert. If we do come down, I'll take a gander at it. If we do get a schematic in here, right? If we do get a schematic in here, I'd be looking for a decent schematic, wait for that spring, let it break structure, come back, mitigate out of the candle we want to play off of, and off we go. All right. Um, and UJ has a lot of potential to go up. If you look at it from the daily, um, I mean, I honestly would be targeting this, right? I'd be targeting that. That's like that's a 300 pip move, you know. So, we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. Um, I like that area in UJ. Yep. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like UJ, So it's just a matter of just being patient and waiting on it. I'm gonna laugh if EU takes off from that 80%. Always, man, always. No, all right, let it come back down. Good. I don't want it to leave me yet. Like I wanted to hang out in this area going into London. All right. So if we can hang out in that area, that'd be great. Uh, I'm gonna move up to this top of this range. We'll just see what happens. How do you take partials? Um, so it all depends. Like for me, if it's pro trend, my first take profit area is 10%. And then I take 25 and 25. And then if it's counter trend, I take 25, 25, 25. I always have three areas that I'm going to take partials at, and then I'll leave a runner. So my first take profit is 10% on a pro trend. And if I'm hedging on a counter trend, it's 25%. And then take profit area 2 and 3 are going to be 25% each volume of the remaining volume. That's ultimately how I do it. So I mean that's pretty much it. That's what I'm looking at. I really, like I said, pending orders. I'm gonna put, when I go to bed tonight, I'm gonna put pending orders on all these odd pairs. I think AU is probably my favorite one that I like. Odd chef as well off that 4 hour. So, but yeah, I like this 15-minute. It is a valid demand area. I'm actually gonna just move this down to here. So if I go to bed and we're still lingering around here, I'm going to put the limit order in. If not, I'd like to wait for this to come in during London session. Um, good, cool, man. Yeah, absolutely. Um, that's great. Good job, man. Good job. 50, 25, 25. No, 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 no. If it's pro trend, I take 10%, then 25, 25. And then if it's counter trend, it's 25, 25, 25. And then I leave a runner. I always leave 25% remaining volume to run, right? Because I only trade pro trend. That's ultimately what I like is pro trend. So until it tells me to close out, and normally I know that because it hit my break even. Would I put a limit order on EU Extreme? No, I'm not. I can tell you that I'm not. I want to see what it's going to do during Asian session. So yeah, exactly. I just let it run. I let it run. A good example is like, and I didn't let this run because I simply ran out of margin. But if you guys remember from the beginning of January, I got in on GA right down here. Yeah. So I got into these two orders down here, and I would have liked to have left one run, because if I would have let it run, man, I don't even know what's it at, 179.20. So if I would have let this stupid thing run, this would have been a 179. Okay, yeah. So at the height, this was at a 1 to 50. So yeah, this was at a 1 to 50. That's where I closed out. So GA was supposed to give me the highest art at 1 to 300. I'll get there. I'll get a 1 to 300. Don't worry, I'll get it. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, we'll see. Like just I'm gonna keep building the positions. And I mean that's pretty much it. That's what I got. I've got a couple good setups that I'm waiting on. Like I said, pending orders. These are the ones that I'm still holding. Actually, EU broke even, so EU I'm not holding anymore. This is going to go back over to my watch list. There we go. But yeah, I'm holding GA, NCAD, NJ, and gold. And then I'm going to put these pendings in. And then here's what is on my watch list. Now, indices, I mean, listen, indices are indices. Like it sucks. I was looking for potential buys now. Where's it at? Where are we looking? We are looking. Yeah. So tomorrow morning, I'm not going to look now, but tomorrow morning, I potentially would be looking for buys in this area just because this was a failed distribution turned accumulation. So if we get a schematic in this area, I'd be looking to buy to take it to new highs. Same thing with S&P. Tomorrow morning, if we are in this area over here, if we're in this area here, I'd be looking for some schematics. All right. So I always have a higher time frame point of interest, right? So like to give you an example, like GA, right? Like where would I let GA run to? Just look at the weekly, right? Look at the weekly and what's happening on the weekly, right? So on the weekly, we're in a schematic, right? So ideally, I want to let it run to the top of the range. So 1.8400, a nice little, 8400, 8500. That's ideally where I want to, let it run to. On NJ, like where do I want to let NJ run to? Well, realistically, what's our next leg, right? Our next leg high, this, right, would be the break of structure I want to see us do. Okay. We already broke up here. So I want to hold orders to about 7,900. And that's ultimately how I decide where I'm going to take the runners to, you know. If you look at like AU, Odd Chef, all that stuff, I mean, the daily, that's where I want to take it to, into the daily. Oh, here, hold on. I'm not on the daily. Into the daily, you know. I want to take it into the daily. That's about a 200 pip move, just take it into the daily. All right. Yep. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah. So, and like, I'll tell you right now, when do I personally close out all my orders? When I need the margin for something else, you know, and that's ultimately what I do. Like I'm at the point now where I'm almost ready to close out gold because gold is taking a lot of margin up for me. So, but that's what I'm looking at. If you guys have anything you're looking at, man, we'll pop it up. We'll take a look at it. But I think for the most part, I mean, that's what I'm kind of in. I'm looking at these. The market. I'll tell you right now. I've been talking with a lot of guys on my team that the last 4 weeks, the market has given, and just this goes to patience and discipline. The market has given at minimum 2 trades every week that have gone over a 1 to 50. All right. So just be patient. If you need more, I'll tell you right now, if you need more than a 1 to 50 trade per week, yeah, I mean, maybe reevaluate what you're doing, because for me, a 1 to 50 is a significant amount of profits, especially on a 0.25% risk, especially if you're trading a proprietary fund account. If you're an FTMO trader and you're trading a 100K account, a 1 to 50 on a 0.25% risk, every week is a pretty good payout. All right. USD Mexican. Bro, have you ever seen me look at USD Mexican? Wow, bro. Albert, man. Look at the spread on USD Mexican and then look at the spread on every other USD pair. And you tell me why. No, please. Yeah, no. I'll tell you right now. I don't trade anything with more than a 2 pip stop loss or 2 pip spread, right? And USD Mexican, the spread is ridiculous. I don't even have it on my MT4 because it's so high. All right. Yeah. Is there a reason I only risk a 1/4%? Yeah, because I can lose a 1/4% on all my accounts and it doesn't phase me. There's no emotion in it. I can lose it 10 times in a row and on the 11th time catch a 1 to 100 and it makes up the difference. So yeah, for me, it's not how much money I make, it's how much money I don't lose. So, think about how many times you revenge trade. Think about how many times you get into a trade and it hits your stop loss and you get back in, it hits your stop loss, get back in, and before you know it, you're down whatever percentage you're down. For me, I can just keep taking loss after loss after loss after loss. And at the end of the day, like when I say I'm not going to let a trade get away from me, I mean it. Like GA is a great example. GA, I took 2 straight losses. On the third one, I caught it finally, and I made up all my money and then some. You know, um, yeah, it's for me, it's a psychology thing. Especially on my large account, I can look at my MT5, and if I'm in the red, a 1/4%, it doesn't bother me. If I'm in the red a full percent, that number has an effect on me. So that's how I do it. Um, yeah, absolutely. Uh, at what point do you stop trying? Um, so when it breaks structure, that's why I put the limit orders on the extreme. So, like if we let's look at like, I'll give you an example. So like GU, right? GU, I'm going to give my first try is going to be off this area right here, right? I'm going to give my very first try is going to be here. Okay. Um, if GU takes out this low, all right, then the only other, so if GU stops out here, stop loss hit, I'm going to give it a second try here. All right. If I do not get an accumulation and price just runs, I'm going to come down here. All right. I will find something here to take off. And if this gets clapped out, I'm done with GU because we're bearish, right? We're going down and there's a long way to go. So that's why honestly for me, I always have to have my markups. I always have to have my points of interest. I already have in my head, all right, what's my game plan? At what point am I going to pull the pin and say, find another chart, because I've got it wrong, and that's one of the hardest things to do is to say that you got it wrong, you know, um, and I'll tell you, I get it wrong a lot. I don't win every trade. At the end of the day, that's why I do a 1/4% because I can lose and lose and lose and lose. I mean, realistically, with the average R to R that I get, I can lose 9 out of 10 trades and still be profitable. All right. I only need that one trade, and most of them are pretty good bangers. So, let's see. All right, man. Have a good one. Um, let's see. When you see a POI on a bigger time frame, do you always set a stop and buy limit, or do you try and wait for the schematic on a point of interest? So it depends on what that point of interest is. If it's my slingshot candle, I always require a schematic on the slingshot. If it's the extreme, I'll set a limit order. But like I'm not going to set a limit order. Like let's just say GU right here, right off this H6. There's no way, I'll tell you right now, I'll ever set a limit order because I complain about a 6 pip stop. And this thing would be, yeah, man, this is 40. Geez, that's 46 pip stop loss. Like sometimes my take profits are 46 pips. There's no way. I would never do that. I mean, even look at it, just risk to reward. It doesn't even meet my qualifications. I need a minimum of a 1 to 10 to even contemplate using my margin to get into a trade. This would be a 1 to 7.5. So yeah, I would have to dig deeper into this candle and look to see what I want to do. Steady wood. Yeah, no. So just my personal like trading. Um, I will take limit orders on like 10 pips sometimes. I'll do it kicking and screaming. I think my biggest stop loss so far, I think was that AJ was like 12 pips with my spread. So I do it kicking and screaming. Like I hate it. Sometimes I kick myself for it. Um, because I really want to find a tighter stop. My average stop losses are like 2 to 4 pips. When identifying an entry candle or slingshot candle, when you do the confluence check, do you rule it out if the target candle splits into two or more candles? Um, no. So what I do is I just want to have multiple time frames where that entry would be the same price, and I need to have imbalance it within. So what I need is I need either imbalance to be generally in the same area as that candle. Um, and have you ask yourself, why does price need to come back into this candle, right? Um, so if there's imbalance present inside of that candle, that's one checkbox. And then if that price point, if this candle, say I'm going to take an entry off 50% of this candle, and 50% of that candle is the open of the 5, the 6, the 7, the 10, the 2, and the 4, then that's another checkbox, right? That gives me the confluence I need. All right. Um, yeah, MC is the extreme mitigation candle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean that's yeah. If you guys have any last minute questions, ask them. If not, we'll call it an early night. Um, we have like I said, my watch list is pretty good. I'm going to be patient on it. I'm already managing some decent positions on it, and EU is a little shame today. Like I really kind of wanted it to give me some go, but when I journaled it today, I put in there that it was only Tuesday morning when I got into the trade. So I'll tell you now, my biggest trading days are Thursday is by far the biggest day of the week for me. Thursday, when I get into a trade on a Thursday, within a session and a half, I'm up a pretty significant profit. So awesome. All right, cool. Awesome. Well, if you guys have nothing else, man, we're gonna call it a night. If there's anything else, hit me up on Instagram. I'll try to help you guys out. I know some of you guys wanted me to show you some journal stuff. I'll be honest, like eh, I don't do a video on it because there's a lot that goes into it. It is pretty lengthy. To give you an idea, for every trade, I probably spend about an hour journaling it. So, just yeah, it is what it is. Let me see what else we got. Perfect. Awesome. Yeah. But I'll help you guys out. Like if you guys want, I'll show you some screenshots of like what I put into my journal and stuff like that. And yeah, awesome. Cool. Nearly 2 a.m. here. Yeah, bro. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Yeah. Get some sleep though. All right. Well, listen, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy and thanks for jumping on, man.